Cyber Bureau, Professor Itzik Ben Israel, head of the Tel Aviv University's Blavatnik Interdisciplinary Cyber Research Center, and the Yuval Ne'eman Workshop in Science, Technology and Security. By the way, we have with us also Mrs. Dvorah Ne'eman, and we are very happy to be that you are with us. And Ms. Gili Drob-Heistein, the Executive Director, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests from abroad, of course, guests from Israel, speakers, participants. I'm delighted to welcome you on the 5th International Cybersecurity Conference, which also marks the one-year anniversary of the Blavatnik Interdisciplinary Center for Research at Tel Aviv University. I would like to take this opportunity and thank the benefactor of the center, Tel Aviv University Honorary Dr. Len Blavatnik, for his generosity, and thank the Israel National Cyber Bureau for their support of the cooperation. This combination, by the way, of philanthropy and national support is optimal and essential for advancing any research. Now, recent statistics has shown that Israel is a cyber superpower, accounting for about 10% of global sales in the field. At the center of the academic and entrepreneurial, I would say, arena of this rapidly growing Israeli presence is the Israeli academia, and in particular, Tel Aviv University. In any given time, we have over 100 cyber researchers and business practitioners working together, leveraging the unique advantages of Tel Aviv University that brings together all the know-how on campus related to security, cybersecurity, and related topics. These advantages include a proven track record of innovation entrepreneurship, a wide interdisciplinary scope, which is essential here for the cyber area, deep-rooted connections with high-tech industry and defense agencies, an extensive national and international network of research partners and partner organizations, some of them are here. And one more factor, which is very hard to quantify, and this is the campus culture of imaginative boldness, of the willingness to not only think out of the box, but actually throw the box away. So the rich and varied conference program highlights these interdisciplinary, collaborative, and creative strengths. And I would like to thank the organizers and sponsors for really bringing together all these experts from all over the world and have a high-quality global event with already well-established reputation. So I thank you, the audience, for being here and joining Tel Aviv University in trying to bring cyber solution that will be for the benefit of all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I would like to invite the American ambassador, the U.S. ambassador here in Israel, Mr. Daniel Shapiro, please.
Well, good morning, Professor Ben Israel, Dr. Klafter, Dr. Aviatar Matanya, and distinguished guests. I'm delighted to be here today, and I want to thank the many organizers of this event, including Tel Aviv University and our colleagues from the National Cyber Bureau and the Prime Minister's Office. It is a privilege to be addressing the 5th Annual International Cybersecurity Conference for many reasons. Firstly, I consider it a real honor to have a chance to speak before such an impressive group of experts and policymakers in the field of cybersecurity. Many of you in this room are directly responsible for or have contributed to, in many ways, the impressive growth of Israel's cyber industry and its associated technologies. it's also an opportunity to draw attention to the great progress that has been made in the United States and Israel's bilateral relationship on cyber issues over these past 5 years. During this period, great attention has been focused on cyber issues the world over by governments, the private sector, civil society, and the media. Certainly, in both the United States and Israel, our respective governments have created new mechanisms, policies, and agencies to better manage our engagement on cyber issues and responses to cyber threats. The United States and Israel are natural partners in working together on cyber issues due to our shared values and our open and democratic societies, as well as the extraordinary talent and innovation of our technical communities. Today, I want to draw attention to a number of ways in which we're cooperating in the cyber and internet field. First, we're exchanging information on how to best strengthen both nations' national security and protect ourselves from cyber threats. Second, both countries are promoting investment in cyber and the protection of our digital infrastructure to create an enabling environment for further growth of the information technology industry. And finally, we look to partner with Israel to ensure freedom of expression on the internet. And I'll address each of these matters in turn. Concerning security, U.S.-Israel cooperation on cyber issues, like our robust partnership in so many other areas, is critical to ensuring the national security of both of our countries. Both the United States and Israel are among the world's top targets of cyber attacks, which emanate from foreign governments, terrorist groups, and criminal organizations. And not just our governments are targets, but also our private sector firms. To respond to these threats, there's a rich and mutually beneficial dialogue between our government experts that facilitates the sharing of information on cyber threats. Working together to build and implement the policies, mechanisms, and tools necessary to protect our cyber infrastructure is essential to defend ourselves against those who would seek to threaten and injure us. As an example, Dr. Evyer Matanya, who's here today, is a regular visitor to the United States, including just this month, and the State Department's cyber coordinator, Chris Painter, is a regular visitor to Israel. Many other U.S. leaders in cyber policy, such as the Department of Homeland Security, are in regular contact with their Israeli counterparts. Both sides enjoy an ongoing and ever-deepening dialogue and information exchange on the dynamic and rapidly evolving cyber issues. Both governments have also taken steps to organize themselves to respond to cyber challenges and opportunities. For instance, the 2009 establishment of the U.S. Department of Defense by the U.S. Department of Defense of its Cyber Command was a clear acknowledgement of the need to centralize cyberspace operations, integrate cyber expertise, and synchronize networks. As such, I take note of the recent announcement by the IDF to establish a cyber corps. I'm very confident that the creation of the IDF's cyber corps will allow for even more opportunities for bilateral cooperation between our military cyber experts. My government has recently taken some additional steps to protect U.S. security and punish cyber perpetrators. In April, President Obama signed an executive order directing the Treasury Department to impose sanctions on individuals or entities that engage in significant malicious cyber-enabled activities that pose a threat to the national security of the United States. And in response to the recent breach of information at the Office of Personnel Management, which has exposed the data of millions of current and former federal employees, the White House stated last week that imposing such sanctions on those found to be responsible is absolutely on the table. It's incidents such as these that propelled the United States to work with our partners to strengthen the capacity of governments to ensure their cybersecurity. We're working to help partner countries develop national strategies and policies, incident response mechanisms, and other measures to ensure they can defend their networks. We also work with other countries to help us combat cyber crime. An important basis for facilitating international cooperation in this field is the Budapest Convention on Cybercrime, which seeks to harmonize national laws, improve investigative techniques, and increase cooperation among nations. My government looks forward to Israel's ratification of the Budapest Convention in the near future. Lastly, I wish to stress that partnerships on cyber issues not only keep our countries safer, they also drive our economies through job creation, innovation, and protecting this critical infrastructure that helps businesses work together. And so I want to applaud and express my deep appreciation for all of you here today that are involved in expanding the robust and active private sector commercial interactions between our two countries. It's clear that the cybersecurity sector offers enormous economic opportunities. Just last month, I spent a full day in Beersheba, visiting with Mayor Ruvik Danilovich, President Rivka Karmi, and the leading cyber researchers at Ben-Gurion University, IDF officials, and many private sector representatives who are busy creating one of the world's most important high-tech centers for cybersecurity. I was impressed by the synergies that are being created through the co-location of cyber experts in academia, the private sector, and the military with the strong support of the municipality. In January, the Brandeis University International Business School published its research ranking Beersheba as the first out of 7 global cities forecast to emerge as an important high-tech center of the future. I think that's exactly right. And I would predict that in 5 to 10 years, and maybe even less, the entire world will think of Beersheba as a global leader in the cyber industry. So much so that many leading firms, including American companies, may soon discover that they cannot afford not to have a presence in Beersheba. Just think of that. I visited the CyberSpark Technology Center in Beersheba and spoke with employees of CyActive, an Israeli cybersecurity firm just recently acquired by PayPal in the first major exit of a tech startup from the technology park. This successful company is just one of hundreds. Last year, Israeli exports of cyber-related products and services reached $6 billion, second only to the United States. Confident investors have poured more than $500 million into Israel's cybersecurity startups in the past few years. Israel is a true global cyber incubator, and both our countries stand to benefit enormously from the rapid growth in this field. Now, businesses thrive when they can work together over an open and secure internet. This is one of the central pillars of our international strategy for cyberspace, and one for which we continue to seek partners to ensure that the internet is a stable, multi-stakeholder environment in which all users have a seat at the table, not just a place where governments set the rules. Think, for example, what would happen if every country imposed data localization requirements, causing information to halt and undergo inspection whenever it reached a national border. Imagine the negative consequences for commerce and to the free flow of information, which would complicate a task as simple as searching online for the answer to a trivia question. The delays would create huge obstacles to multinational businesses at a time when speed is of the essence and cross-border enterprises are major engines of growth. That is not a formula for progress, and it is a way to stop progress in its tracks. I expect the United States and Israel to continue to work as partners and leaders to protect the internet as an open, secure, and reliable tool that supports global economic prosperity. Yet viewing the internet and cyberspace as tools for economic growth is not all we strive for. As a vital part of our cyber policy is protecting internet freedom. We want the internet to be an open, global space for freedom of expression, even as we continue to promote human rights worldwide and actively oppose those wishing to deny them. Threats to online freedom continue to grow. Nearly half of the 2 billion internet users around the world live in countries that impose restrictions on content. Our goal is to ensure that everyone the world over has access to the internet as an open platform in which they innovate, learn, and exchange ideas freely. The benefits of network technology, our ability to work across the internet, should not be reserved to a privileged few nations or a privileged few within them. We must pursue a cyberspace that is open to innovation, interoperable worldwide, secure enough to earn people's trust, and reliable enough to support their work. We must also pursue policies that seek to ensure the security of our governments, firms, and citizens. And as I've said, Israel is a natural partner for all of these goals. 30 years ago, few understood that something called the internet would lead to a revolution in how we work and live. In that short time, millions now owe their livelihoods to the world of cyberspace. We look forward to working with Israel to move towards a future of an open and secure internet, and a future in which the internet protects the security and privacy of those individuals and entities who use it. The United States and Israel continuing to cooperate on these issues makes eminent sense for our national security, for our economic prosperity, and for our shared commitment to protect the freedom of expression of people across the planet. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak with you.